Dude, I know you're super busy.
Absolutely.
Yeah, man. And it's just wanted to touch base again. This is like part two, Eddie Oberoi. And what you're doing is phenomenal. I was just telling the guys here, um, I talk to you every day.
Mhm.
I see you every day.
Mhm.
And I'm still in awe of what you are doing, right? But for the people, so welcome everyone to the Power Half Hour. Today we have Mr. Eddie Oberoi, part two. He inspired us last year. Today he's gonna just blow our minds. Eddie, why don't you go through a little bit about, I don't think you shared your story last time, where you came from, how you grew up.
Okay. Yeah. Well, real quick, it's a long story. I'll make it short. I came to the US when I was 16, and my brothers were in the restaurant business. And I started working at a restaurant, and I couldn't even speak English properly. I spoke broken English. And I remember being behind the counter, taking orders of teenagers while they were on their dates, laughing, enjoying life. And I'm washing dishes and I can't even speak the language. And it pissed the fuck out of me. Can I be raw? Okay.
You're good.
It pissed me off. So, and that, even me talking about it right now, it pisses me off, even right now. Like, I never want to be there. Okay. So, long story short, I just got on this journey of self improvement. I was like, hey, not only am I going to learn the language, I'm going to be a public speaker. I'm going to be talking to you. And here I am doing it. So I came to California. I got into the real estate mortgage business about 20 years ago. And here I am.
Yeah, man. You couldn't even speak English. You were here at 14. You went through some
15.
hard times. You came from nothing. How much money did you, start with to kill it? You had like 100 brokers as a brokerage owner, and
Yeah.
then it all came crashing down. Tell us a little bit about how you made it all back.
So it's been a journey. So what happened in 2007, 8, we had the financial meltdown. And I was a mortgage broker. I wasn't doing real estate. I was a mortgage broker. We would do some real estate here and there, but I was doing mortgages. And at one point, I had 100 agents working for me. We were gross, commission volume was like 12 million. I was doing really good. But then the market crashed, and I had to start from scratch. I lost pretty much everything.
Wow.
Heavily invested in the real estate industry. I was buying properties all over the place, like
Wow.
Hawaii, Chicago, New York, Miami. I was thinking that I was doing the right thing because my friends were buying, Ferraris, and I was buying properties, thinking I was doing the right thing. But the market crashed, and it
Wow.
brought me to my knees. And so basically, I had to kind of move out of the Bay Area for a couple of years because it's so
Wow.
expensive here. So I lived in a small town. I bought a home for 300,000. I had a little bit of money left, uh, but the fire inside of me, like, no, I don't want to settle. I don't want to stay there. I could have been okay because it was a cheap home. I had a good lifestyle.
Yeah.
But I'm like, hey, I want to be where the movers and shakers are.
Yeah.
So I pushed myself and I came back to the Bay Area. I rented a house and just started from scratch. Instead of having a team, the funny thing is, when I was a mortgage broker, I was running a team. And I was like, hey guys, let's go, let's go. I'm trying to motivate them. But there came a point, I'm like, hey, I'm just gonna have to roll up my sleeves and do it. Because people were not motivated back then, 2007, 8, 9. They were tough years.
Yeah.
Tough years. So I just rolled up my sleeves and I got into the real estate business, and I struggled. But after connecting with Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry, meeting with people like John, you probably can, you're a witness. You saw my skill set 4 or 5 years ago. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
John, I reached out to John. Hey, John, I want to role play with you, and I couldn't even talk to this guy. I mean, he can attest to that. So, yeah. But the thing is, it's all about, like, every day. It's a routine, right? We have a routine. We just follow a routine. It doesn't matter how big the goal is. Let's say if your goal is to speak English, or if your goal is to make money, or if your goal is to play piano, your goal is to become a public speaker. You just got to practice every day. And I do that religiously. And John, you've seen me. So every day, doesn't matter. Like our 5 a.m. club, I've never quit that. I mean, I'm always there. And I have certain routines that I follow. And in return, that just makes me a lot of money.
That's crazy. Eddie. If I tell people, what you were, 4 years ago versus today, that, because coming from nothing and making $1.2 million in GCI is already like, oh my gosh, how did you do that?
Right.
And so, I talked to Eddie almost every single day since 2017.
Yep.
And he always affirmed to himself, I'm going to make $2.5 million a year. I'm going to make $2.5 million a year. And he chanted that for like 3-4 years, guys.
And I was like, you made fun of me. Like,
I was like, dude, that's too big a goal. That's too big a goal. You need to be realistic. He's like, I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Right. I'm just going to go for it.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, this year, you're already at 2 million. You're on track for 3 million.
ECI, yeah.
What was this? Yeah. So what was the switch, do you think, that had you go from 1, 2 to 3?
What happens is when you work hard, you reach a plateau and then you just take off. And a perfect example, I was talking to my coach, Larry Kozak, and he gave me a really good example. If you think about the bamboo plant, the way it grows, when you plant the seeds, it takes years. It takes like 5 years for it to kind of get going. But then within like, it's kind of weird, within 2-3 months, it goes up like 50 feet. Right? So the point I'm trying to make is all the hard work that I had been doing, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. Eventually, I started getting a lot of attention from other agents, other peers, and they wanted to work with me. And I think, John, you even told me to do a team thing like 3-4 years ago. Like, no, I don't want to do a team. I'm very happy by myself, making $1 million. Good. Life is good. I don't want to babysit, because I had that bad experience, right? As a mortgage broker.
That's
like,
right.
I don't want that. I don't want to babysit people. But what happened was, interestingly, I had some people approach me. I had a lady, single mom. She approached me 2 years ago. She's like, hey, her teenage daughter is going through some stuff. I just want you to coach her. And I started doing that. And now she's doing really well. She's, she just closed $5 million last month.
Wow.
So, and she's only 18. Okay. Then there was another guy who's like, hey, I want you to help my son. He's a little off track. And I started doing that. But these experiences were so gratifying. I'm like, holy shit, this is a lot of fun, actually. Right. So I switched my mindset from like, I'm babysitting people to just, I want to be a good leader, right? That switch happened about a year ago, okay? And all of a sudden, I'm attracting people like magnets. They want to work with me. They want to work with me. So I attracted a lot of good people. Now I have a pretty decent team. And that's why my business just tripled, because obviously they're coming in, they're bringing in business. I can leverage, I can do more. So for like 4 years in a row, I was doing 50 transactions a year. Last year, I did 74. This year, I'm already at 123.
Wow.
Yeah. So, it's it's the accumulation effect. Wow. You know what I mean? It's like it's just like working out, right? You be attached to the process, right? Whatever that process is. It's very simple. 30 minutes of cardio, 30 minutes of strength training, veggies, lean meat. You do that for 6 months. You do that for 6 years. Oh, you do that for 10 years. Holy shit. Same thing here. Same shit.
Inspiring.
Script practice. Yeah. Role play, have a routine. I'll give you an example. This morning, I have some bad allergy issues. I think that. This morning, man, I haven't felt, I thought I got hit by a truck when I got up at this morning at 4 a.m. I was like really looking at the bed. I'm literally thinking about texting you, hey, it's the first time I'm going to call in sick, because I was bad, my migraine, my allergies. But instead, what I did was I got really pissed off and I did 325 burpees. If my record is 300, I did 325 and I was sweating, but that feeling was so good. Like, you know what? I'm going to put a leash on this shit. I'm not going to let whatever it is who's telling me go back to bed and sleep. No, it's not going to work like that. And here I am, feel great. I've never felt so good. So it's really interesting how you have to play those mind games. But again, it comes down to the routines, man. And thanks to you, you've been my great accountability partners, and we've been doing this for like 4 or 5 years. So it's been a great journey.
I'm in awe, man, because you fought through many days you didn't want to show up.
Yeah.
So what keeps you going in spite of the pain that you feel, in spite of the discomfort that you feel? in spite of the mood that you felt that day, and you kept showing up.
You know, like you and I have been role playing for how many years? 4 years?
4 or 5 years, yeah.
We have, either one of us, we haven't never skipped.
Never skipped.
You've never skipped, I've never skipped, right? Ever, unless you're on vacation or whatever, right? And that's the key, right? The accountability, right? If I didn't have the accountability with you for affirmations, TM meditation, 5 a.m. club, role playing, prospecting, and mastermind groups, if I didn't have that, game over. You know what I mean? It's all about the accountability. You know, we human beings, we will not do something for ourselves, but we'll do it for somebody else. For example, let's say if you're like, hey, I'm going to work out every day, and you're motivated, you go 2-3 weeks in a row, but then you lose your motivation. But if I'm like, hey, John, I'm going to meet you at 5 a.m. every day, and we're going to work out. Now it's a little bit different because, you know, especially if it's somebody you respect. So you want to have an accountability with someone you respect. And John and I, we're great friends, but we call each other out. If we're messing up or he calls me out, I call, hey, John, that's not right. Think like this. You call me out. And that's the kind of shit you want in your life. You want people out there who are going to motivate you, who are going to keep you accountable. Because without that, man, I'm the laziest person in the world.
Right.
You know, on the weekends. So on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays, I'll sleep for 10 hours because I can sleep. But weekdays, it doesn't matter, 2 hours, 4 hours of sleep, I'm up and I'm going.
Eddie, that's incredible. You got to reach out, guys. You got to have an accountability partner to hold you to what your goals are, right? So many years we've been holding each other accountable, Eddie. Now, I do want to ask you this. You can teach someone how to make $1 million. But I'm the belief that you can't teach someone how to want to make $1 million. Right? So what makes you want to?
Well, you know, I think you and I are both alike. I think no matter how much money we're gonna make, we're always gonna be hungry for more because it's not about the money. I mean, there's only so much money we need you got a house, you got a car, what are you gonna do? You know, you gotta just buy investment properties. My main thing is I want to hang out with people like John Tsai, Michael Young, Hal Swayze, Mike Ferry, Tom Ferry. That's my thing. Anthony Robbins, Mark Zuckerberg. You know, I want to be at that level. You know what I mean? And if I want to be at that level, I have to think big. I just wrote a check for $100,000 for community, local community, just like that. 100,000. You know, I'm trying to impress you, but impress upon you. You gotta think big. You gotta think. I gotta blow up. You gotta blow up. But you're not gonna blow up if you are stingy. Guess what? You attract what you are. If you're stingy, you're gonna attract stingy clients. If you're flaky, you're gonna attract flaky clients. If you're lazy, you're gonna attract lazy clients. So you need to become the person you want to attract. So that's why I'm like, hey, you know what? I'm all in. You know, it doesn't matter. I can make $1 million, but it's not gonna stop either you or me because that's just how we are. We're like, okay, what's next?
And you're relentless. You are relentless. Writing a check for, and guys, he writes it in his journal every single day that he wants to donate $300,000 this year. And, the guy just wrote $100,000 check. I mean, that is thinking big. And I do want to touch on this a little bit more. Eddie, I think you're in the belief, like Grant Cardone, that cash is trash, especially for a salesperson. You don't carry any cash balance in your account. Isn't that scary?
I don't keep any cash balance in my account. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Yeah. So my thing is, if you have money in front of you, it makes you complacent. And so what I do is typically if I have, any money sitting in my bank, I'll do the syndication, I'll buy a property. I just want to make sure I'm always on the edge. Always want to push myself. Now, that doesn't mean that you be stupid and buy stupid shit and not be financially responsible. No, obviously I have my lines of credits available if I need the money, but I don't want to see too much money in my bank account because then you're just like, hey, I got $1 million or $500,000 sitting in the bank. Let's take it easy, So yeah, you always want to push yourself, keep yourself on the edge. And I think it's dumb to have cash sitting in your checking account.
Right. Yeah. Well, I think that's, most of us would like to have a cushion. What makes you so courageous?
Like I said, so what I do is, I do have a cushion as well. I obviously need some kind of cushion. So I do have, money in the stock market. I do have money in my lines of credits that
Okay.
I have access to if I need it. But I just don't want to keep too much cash in my checking account.
Yeah, I think that's a new concept for salespeople. And Mike always told me that you never want to have cash balance. Even my previous mentor, Bob Rennie, he always told me, if you have cash flow, you don't need a cash balance. It
Exactly.
makes you complacent,
Right. Right.
right? So you just keep buying property, and then making that cash balance low so you can get to action. Isn't that tiring though, Eddie?
You know, it can be tedious, it can be tiring, but think about this. If you look at athletes, it's the tedious shit that they do day in, day out. Look at Tom Brady practicing 8, 9 hours a day. Look at Michael Phelps swimming 365 days a year, day in, day out. Doesn't matter how you feel. It's tedious, it's tiring, but that's why you want good people like yourself around. But I do have John, Tsai, and I are so blessed, but it happened by design. It didn't happen. It's not like people just came to us. We reached out to each other. I reached out to John. I saw him on the stage a few years ago. I'm like, I want to talk to this guy. And he was like, who the hell are you? But the thing is, you have to reach out. You have to reach out. And right now I'm friends with all the top agents in the Mike Ferry organization, because I am reaching out and I am paying attention. I genuinely want to be their friends. Like John and I, we may not see each other for 2, 3 years, but whenever we meet, we're just like hugging and laughing. And to answer your question, you need that. You need people like DK, you, fun people around you who make it exciting. We're always laughing. We're sending each other stupid jokes on WhatsApp because that's what makes it fun.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Otherwise, the same shit. It's the same shit day in, day out, day in, day out. I mean, and that goes for anything you want to do or you want to be good at. You want to become a bodybuilder, same thing, day in, day out. It's so tedious, right? You want to become an athlete, same thing. Now, I talk about financial fitness. This is financial fitness. The blueprints are given to you. Okay. Just like, I mean, you don't want to get healthy. That's one thing, but financial fitness, shit, all you got to do is make some calls, pick up the phone and improve yourself every day. That's easy. You have to do it.
So what I'm hearing you say is that the secret is actually in your routine. The secret is actually in the repetition. And the repetitious boredom that you go through every single day that have accumulated over the years, and all of a sudden, boom, you hit that big goal.
Exactly.
Right. So guys, really focus on your daily routine. And I want to remind everyone that this is a marathon. It's not a sprint.
Right.
It's not a sprint. So, but how do we keep fresh? Because, a lot of people are tired. Everybody, COVID, it's work to no end. We can't travel. We can't do much. And you say to me and the group, guys, he says this every single day. I kid you not. Every day is a vacation. Talk about that mindset.
Yeah. Every day, guys, you want to surround yourself with people who are going to tell you to step up. So I'll give you an example. I called one of my buddies, Rob Pistone, and I was like, hey, Rob, I'm tired. I feel, this is so boring, same shit. And he goes, boo-hoo, Eddie, boo-hoo, cry me a fucking river. And I'm like, I thought he was going to say, hey, go take a vacation, take some time off.
Right.
Like, dude, what are you complaining about? You dressed up nicely, you're driving nice cars, you're in a beautiful office, you're making some few phone calls. There are people out, what's the real hard work is construction worker out there working at night, or people out there who work their asses off. This is easy. So to me, like right now, I haven't had a break since 5 a.m. And it's been so much fun. I worked out with John, did my affirmations. I had a great meeting with my staff. I'm writing an offer, getting a listing. Now I'm talking to you. After you, I'm going to have another meeting with my people. But it's fun. For me, it's fun. It's exciting, because where else do you get to make this kind of money? And all you have to do is blah, blah, blah. You just have to talk.
Right.
I mean, think about it. We just have to talk. You're making money for just opening your mouth.
Yeah.
You don't have to buy anything. You don't have to sell anything. You just open your mouth and you talk and you make money. So it's that simple. So that's why I say every day's a vacation. I keep sending pictures to John if I'm having a good meal and if I'm having a drink or coffee or whatever. And I live in the Bay Area, which is beautiful. So I'm like, hey, every day is a vacation. Today I'm supposed to hang out with one of my buddies at 4 p.m. I'm looking forward to it.
Amazing. So you spent a majority of your career prospecting.
Exactly.
Right? And then now I'm noticing more and more that it's more about attracting for you. When did that switch? Because now I see all the business coming to you more than you are making the cold calls. So what would you say is the split now between you prospecting versus people coming to you?
Oh, man, I mean, if you do a good job, and if you are passionate, and if you are genuine, and if you're kind, you are going to attract that. Like I said earlier, you become the person you want to attract. You know what I mean? So I've been working on myself. I've been trying to polish myself, and so has John. And we've been doing it for years, and I know it's going to get better and better because we're never going to be satisfied. You know what I mean? So when you're polishing that axe every day, you are going to become attractive. You know what I mean? And when the attraction comes, then it's just easier to close more deals because first of all, you're not attached to the outcome.
Yes.
Second of all, they can see through your confidence. People like confident people.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then you develop a good personality by having a good mastermind group or having good accountability partners because they all help you a little bit. You are the average of 5 people you most talk to, period.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean? So who are you talking to? Who are your friends? So I take that process quite seriously. I don't know if that answers your question.
Yeah, the question was, what's the split between prospecting and attracting clients?
Oh, split between prospecting and attracting clients. Okay, I would say it's about 70-30, 70% attracting and 30%. Yeah.
Okay, good. So, and you've been in real estate now total ever since the crash, about 12 years now, would you say?
I would say not even 12 years because I got into short sale. I don't know if short sales were popular in Canada. Did short sales for good 3-4 years. And realistically, I've been doing traditional real estate for about 7 years.
7 years, guys.
Yeah.
And out of those 7 years, how many years were you like kind of in the grind, let's say 100% prospecting?
Oh man, I would say first 4 years.
First 4 years, guys.
Yeah.
So learn from Eddie, be willing to grind it out, which is okay.
Yeah.
I've seen the grind from Eddie 7 days a week. He would prospect Monday to Friday, and then he would do mega open houses on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But he loves it.
Yeah.
And now it's coming. So now it's 30%, a little bit of prospecting, but majority of it are people coming to you.
Coming to me. Yep.
But if you didn't grind that hard in the first 4 years, that wouldn't have come to you.
Oh, you have to work your ass off. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
It's not really hard work, guys. If it's really hard work, we'd be digging ditches. Again, it's about blah, 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 all day long. Work on your skills, be consistent, get some accountability partners, and keep moving forward and reach out to people if you need help, right? We're all available with social media. You can literally DM Eddie after this and ask him questions, and he will get back to you. And he's really good at that.
Totally.
Right? So Eddie, do tell me though, right now, see the market's changing a little bit. What advice do you have for the people that haven't gone through a downturn or a changing market?
Yeah, I think I'm working on it already. So with the role play partners, work on those scripts, price adjustment script, how to price a property, how to list a property in a changing market. And that's something that I haven't experienced for quite some time. And I think I was telling John and DK that, hey, that's something I need to work on. Yes. So we're going to work on it. So we are working on it already. So when I role play now, and that's something that we talk about, we discuss, because the thing is that when the market shifts, there can be a lot of opportunities, but at the same time, majority of the agents, they have to leave the business and hang in there. You know what I mean? So you really have to work on your skill set because you don't want to be in a situation where the market shifts and you just jump, you just fall off the ship. You don't want that. So that's what practicing your scripts, having very intense prospecting sessions, very intense. You know what I mean? Because those two things will protect you from any kind of shift in the market.
Yeah, we just talked about it on our clubhouse call this morning, is that to counteract a changing market, you can actually get more market share. Number one thing is get back to prospecting.
That's right.
Get back to the basics and work on your skill set. And I'm going to quote Aaron Novello. He says, skill the fuck up. And couldn't be better put than that. So guys, get back to prospecting. work on your skill set. How many coaches do you have working on your skills for you?
Man, John, you know me. I have a business coach. I have a communication coach.
Two, yeah.
I have a life coach.
Three,
I have a
okay.
Spanish coach.
Four.
I have a personal trainer coach. I have a piano coach. I have a Spanish coach. I spend about 7 to 10 grand a month on personal development because I just love it. Because it's not about making 1 million or 2 million or $5 million a year. It's the person you need to become to make that kind of money.
Wow. Okay.
So whatever your goals are, if you want to make $1 million a year, you want to make $5 million a year, it's not about just prospecting and it's not about just making calls. It's about, okay, what do I have to do to become that guy who can make $5 million a year? So that guy obviously has to be more polished, right?
Yes.
I mean, the reason why Mark Zuckerberg is Mark Zuckerberg because he's polished. He knows what the hell he's doing. Or Elon Musk, right? So that's what we need to work on. Because my goal, I'm not going to be satisfied. I'm going to do my own more affirmations. I want to make $5 million a year, $10 million a year. So, but now the question is, what do I need to do? Well, what I need to do, I know, is do what I'm doing, which is work with all these coaches. They're going to help me develop my personality, which is going to attract more clients, which is going to mean more money. So again, it's not about just money. Who gives a shit, right? Like how much, let's say you have $1 million in your bank or billion. It's not about that. It's the quality of people you have in your life. Okay? I really believe in that. So that's my goal. I just want to attract, quality of people. It's not about how much money you're going to leave behind. It's about what happens when you leave, how many people are going to be impacted by you in your life.
So really it's about leaving legacy for you then.
The legacy. Yeah.
Wow. Is that the ultimate big goal, is like what you can leave behind? Or is there something else that drives you every single day? Man, you are just so relentless, I gotta say. I mean, you're so much energy every single day. I'd be pissed off, in the morning getting together with Eddie. I'm like, don't make me smile. Don't make me smile. But he is just loving life. What drives you? What's your why?
Yeah, it's not that, I don't have like this morning was tough. It's not like every day I'm like, yeah, let's go. No, it's not like that. Most days you're like, oh shit, gotta do it again. But I think you got to know your why, whatever that why is. My why is that kid, 16-year-old behind the counter, taking orders.
Wow.
And I get pissed off even thinking about I never want to be there. I'm so pissed. There's a fire in my belly. So that's my why. I'm like self-improvement. I never want to be that asshole who can't speak, who's shy, who's introvert, who's insecure, all that bullshit. I want the other guy who's confident, who's a go-getter, who's going to kick some ass. That's what I want. And I'm not there yet.
Jeez. I mean, everybody wants to take action. Everybody wants to become the better version of themselves. Do you ever experience any fear that stops you from taking action?
Absolutely. And there's a favorite quote out there, which I love. Action conquers fear. So whenever I'm fearful, hey, you know what? Start working. Like this morning, I was fearful. Oh my gosh, I'm getting sick. Dude, 325 burpees.
Wow.
Love it. Action. And before you know it, the fear is gone. You know what they say is if you chase fear, fear will run away.
Ooh.
So when fear comes to me, I'm like, okay, bring it. Let's
bring it.
Yeah.
If you chase fear, fear runs away. Don't let fear chase you. It's not real.
Yep.
Man, Eddie, thank you for that. Last parting thought for the crowd to have them finish strong for 2021. What would it be?
Man, keep it simple. Keep it simple. There's no magic wand. There's no magic CRM. There's no magic leads. There's no magic anything. There's no magic coaches. There's no magic. You just have to work your ass off. That's the magic. So get up, stand up, have a routine, follow the routine, and don't forget to have fun. It's all fun and games, guys. We're not saving babies over here. There are people out there, there are doctors out there who stay in operating on a kid for like 24 hours in a row, trying to save a life. Now that's the real fucking work.
Yeah.
There are people out there who are trying to land on Mars, fucking developing, medicine for trying to cure cancer and fucking coronavirus. Now that's fucking, We have to fucking make calls. It's
Yeah.
fucking, I feel like shit. I feel like, dude, I feel guilty. I feel guilty, man. Like, come on.
You know, Eddie, today I was expecting some super juicy secret to go from 1.2 million to 3 million. Guys, there is no magic. There is no secret sauce. You're looking at it, your daily routine. Be consistent, prospect, and have some fun. Be grateful for what we have. It's a lottery ticket to become a realtor. Guys, please, everybody, thank Eddie for me. Eddie, I see you every day. And again, I just want to say congratulations on all the big goals achieved. I'm in awe of you every single day. Thank you for being in my life. Thank you for your contribution today.
Likewise, brother. I love you.
See you soon. Love you too.